3, which is going to be G major. We learned the full G in our last class, G major like this. Second, third, and fourth finger, make sure that you play it that way. There's other ways to play a G chord similar, but we want to learn this one. The reason we learn it this way as opposed to some of the other ways is because we have the option of using our first and second finger on a lot of things over here. If we play it a different way, we have limited scope, but we can play a G here and add a G with a C. So you got a lot of options. Options to mess around with fingers over here on the G if you play it this way. So it's really important that we learn them the way I've suggested in the book, and then we can learn other versions later if we'd like to, but for now we want to be able to play this version so that we can do some other special stuff as we learn more in this book. Okay, so let's start with G, the G with the second, third, and fourth finger, and then we're going to play C. The next chord, we're going to move that second and third finger down and then add our first finger on the second string, first fret. So we have our fingers on the first fret, second string, second finger on the fourth string, second fret, third finger on the fifth string, third fret for the C. Then we're moving to D7. We just leave our first finger down, and we'll place our second and third finger on the third and first string in the second fret. So there's our D7. So we're going to go back to C again. So we've got our second finger as the brace there when we go from D7 to C. So we got D7 here, and then C back to that one, and then we're going to go back to G. We're going to move, lift and shift our second and third fingers to the fifth and sixth string and add our pinky for that G. Okay, so let's play that. 1, 2, ready, strum. Down, down. Second measure, 2, 3, and 4, and C, 2, 3, and 4, and second measure, D7. Back to C. And G, we're doing a repeat. And C major, right here. And D7. To C, last time, and on G. Okay, there it is, drill number 3. Drill number 4 is going to be a little bit faster, so you can see that we have more chord movements on drill 4 as opposed to drill 1 through 3. So we're going to move a little bit quicker, but we're going to be playing that slide that we learned this week. It's going to be E. And we're going to slide all the way to C sharp minor on the 4th fret. So we want to move from E. We can take our third finger and slide up to the 6th fret, and then add our first finger on the 4th fret, 5th string, and add our pinky on the 3rd string and the 6th fret. So we'll play E, slide it all the way up to the 6th fret, the 3rd finger, then add our other 1st and 4th fingers on the C sharp minor. Then we'll slide that down to A2, and then we'll slide that up 2 frets to B with an E. So this is a little bit of a harder challenge. Go ahead and stop the tape if you need to, stop the DVD, and we will be here when you get back to practice that transition. You'll also see on the second line we have E to C sharp minor, and in the middle of that strumming pattern, on that measure, we move back 2 frets to B with an E, then we go back to A2, and then back to B with an E. So it's pretty quick. Practice those changes as you see them there, and come back once you finish practicing the transitions, and we'll be ready to strum it together. So drill number 4, let's start with E. 1, 2, ready, strum. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and C sharp minor, A2, B with an E. That was probably pretty tough. So let's try that one more time. We're going to do E to C sharp minor, to A2, to B with an E, and then we'll go to the next line and be ready for the next line. So let's do that again. E major. 1, 2, ready, strum. E, 2, 3, and 4, and C sharp minor. A2, B with an E, and start over, E major. You can slide with your third finger pretty much every chord. Back to B with an E, A2, and B with an E. Okay, let's do that again. Let's do that B with an E and we'll repeat back to E. So B with an E on the very last line and then we're going to repeat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and repeat. 2, 3, and 4, and C sharp minor. 2, 3, A2, B with an E, E major, C sharp minor, B with an E, A2, back to B with an E, and end on E. That's pretty fast. Alright, so that's drill number 4, and we'll move over to the next page.